Hey, what is up everybody? Anubhuta here with PS Craft and welcome back to another Photoshop tutorial on my channel. Well, in this tutorial I'm showing you how to create a complex edge mask for a photo like this, and using that edge mask you can do things like sharpening the edges, maybe changing the color of the edges to make some really nice and cool effects. So as you can see over here, I've got this picture of this cathedral thing, and let's say I wanted to do some sharpening or some color tweaking in the edges, wherever there is an edge or wherever there is some high contrast points. So what I could have done is maybe added a mask, and then using my brush tool could have painted each and every edge of the whole photo to get a really complicated edge mask. But that thing would really be a grind and take me months to finish it. But we're smarter than that. We're gonna let Photoshop do the hard work. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to delete this layer mask. Now to create a complex edge mask, what you have to do in the first step is find the channel with the highest contrast. So I'm going to cycle through the channels from the channels panel over here, and if you don't see your channels panel over here, what you can do is go up to window and click on channels, and that will bring it right up. Okay, so I'm going to click on the red channel first and look at the contrast, then move to green and then to blue. Okay, so from what I'm saying here, I think red has the greatest contrast. Yep, red has the most contrast, so I think I'm going to choose red, and I'm going to duplicate this channel. So drag this to this folded paper icon, and then get a duplicate of the channel. Just going to rename it to something like mask. Mask. So we're going to call it mask. Now what you can do is go up to filter, stylize, find edges. As you can see over here, we have already got something that looks like a mask, but only this thing is the opposite of what we want. So in the edges of the mask, in the edges of the picture, we got this black mask, which is exactly the opposite we want, because we want the adjustments to affect the edges. So for that we gotta invert the mask. So Control I, and that's gonna invert the mask. Now we have got the right mask. See, that already looks like a very complex mask. Okay, but it has got, now we have to do some tweaking to this because there are some noises over here, and using this without making any kind of adjustments or to make a horrible mask, because our adjustments would show everywhere in the sky or in places where we don't want it to show. Okay, so to refine this thing, what you gotta do is go up to image, adjustments, levels, and I'm gonna push the black. See, I'm taking the noise out of the sky, and maybe take the white. Okay, let me zoom in and make sure everything is alright, and that about looks okay. So I'm gonna click on OK, and now I'm gonna load this thing, this channel as a selection. So I'm gonna click on this icon, and that loads the loads the channel as a selection. And now I'm gonna go back to the composite RGB channel, and then duplicate this layer. So right click, duplicate this layer, and make sure you don't press Ctrl J, because that will duplicate only the selected area. Okay, now I'm gonna add a new layer. So I'm gonna click on this create new layer mask button, and there we have it. There we have our complicated edge mask. Now we can do things like sharpening or color tweaking, and it will only show up in the edges. So let's try the sharpening thing first. So go up to filter, sharpen, maybe Unsharp Mask, and now I think we have already got a sharpening over here. As you can see, if I turn this on and off, you can see that the picture is being sharpened in the edges. Okay, so turn this on and off. The default settings is fine. I mean, this settings I've already done this thing once, so maybe Photoshop remembered that settings. Okay, so I'm gonna click on OK, And now if I turn this on and off, you can see that there's a nice difference. So this layer is actually enhancing the edges. Now let's say I wanted to tweak the colors, so what I can do is add a new hue saturation layer. Okay, then we're gonna have to copy this mask, so hold down the Alt key and click on this thing and then drag it over, replace layer mask, yes, and we have that same mask on our adjustment layer. Now click on this thing, and now if I say like colorize and go something like yellow, yep, something like that, or maybe say something like this. Okay, so our hue saturation adjustment is only showing through the edges. Now see, if I turn this on and off, you can see we are making a really cool and nice effect. And in case you think any of your adjustments are too strong, what you can do is pull the opacity down, and that would, make the effect less obvious. That is how you do it, guys. That is how you create a complicated edge mask by harnessing the power of channels. So go ahead and do it. Go ahead and try this thing. This might work great for you. Try this with things that has got a lot of contrast, or that has got a lot of edges. Hopefully you're gonna find this tutorial useful. If you do, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for weekly Photoshop tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.